Hi guys, I hope you are doing okay. I finally got around to posting my new video. It's already uploaded, the chunky hooded sweater. Let me know what you think in the comment down below. And currently I'm working on a new sweater. And if you can't already guess, I love making sweaters. It just brings me a lot of joy. Anyway, yeah, so currently I'm making a sweater. This is the one of the panel. It's going to be a front panel. And then of course I'm going to make a tutorial for it. And it will be uploaded next week on Tuesday. Wish me luck. And we are back on our normal schedule. I'll be uploading new videos every Tuesday. I hope you're doing okay. So far this is what I have. I have roughly 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I have 10 rows. I'm supposed to make up to 28 rows. Yeah, and that's what we have at the moment. So how have you been doing? You can ask me anything. You can ask me anything. Yeah. And you guys have been watching my content. I'm really appreciative of that. We are at 4,000 subscribers. It does not sound real. Literally, it doesn't sound real. In my head, I just feel like it's not real. Thank you for subscribing and for commenting and every other good thing. Anyway, I'm going to stay on live for 10 minutes, then I will go. You can ask me anything, you can ask me questions, anything you want to know. I'm an open book. So right now, the sweater I'm making is just, it's going to be a very, very beginner friendly sweater. Like if you've never crocheted a day in your life, you'll be able to crochet the sweater. At least that is my intention. So I'm making we are just using simple stitches, double crochets. Anyone who is a beginner will be able to make the sweater. Really, you'll be able to catch on. It's not complicated. Yeah, so that is my intention really. So yeah, and it's just going to be a bunch of panels, like front panel, a front panel, a back panel, and it's going to be, my intention is to make it very repetitive so that anyone can be able to make it really. Yeah, all you need is measurement, yarn, and a crochet hook, and you'll be good to go. Hey, are you from Kenya? Yes, I am from Kenya. Proudly, am I really proudly Kenya? Let's not get into that. I'm just Kenyan. I'm Kenyan. That's all. If you're Kenyan at this moment in time, the only thing you can be is just to be Kenyan. That's it. I think that's where I leave it at. Anyway, as I was saying, my intention of this sweater, or my intention of this tutorial, is to make it very beginner friendly. So, and very repetitive. That is my intention. So I'm making my back panel or my front panel, and then after this I'll probably make the sleeve. I also want the tutorial to be fast. I am aware that lately I've been making a lot of sweaters, but you cannot blame me. Really, you cannot blame me at all, because sweaters are just it. Where do you buy your yarn from? I buy my yarn, I've said this a lot of times, I buy my yarn at a place called Eshe. It's called Eshean, and it's located in Biashara. It's located at Biashara Street, a building called Rev. I hope I'm able to pronounce the word correctly. Revron. Yeah, that's where I buy. They have an Instagram page. It's called Asian. Just go search and you'll get all the details that you need. You can also, I used to buy yarn at another place. I don't remember the place, but their prices there are quite affordable. They sell on wholesale, and it's a Kenyan brand. It's also at Biashara Street. I believe it's called Chambeke, something like that. They sell all the Kenyan brands there, like Winter King, Seal, Robin. What is the other brand? Winter King, Seal, and Robin. Yeah, they also have a variety, and they sell their work on wholesale, so you can also get the yarn there as well. Yeah, so that's where I buy my yarn from. Another place, and also you can just check out, there's also, where else have I ever gotten my yarn from? China Square. Yeah, I bought my yarns one time at China Square. They had the milk cotton yarn. I used it to make one or two tutorials. There's a dress tutorial I made with it, and what else, and a sweater tutorial. The yarn there is also quite affordable for milk cotton yarn. I believe at that time one ball of yarn, and it was around 40 grams. It was going for 200 bob. Yeah, so it was good. It was good if you are a beginner. The only thing I will say about the yarn is that it gets really, what is the word, it started like, okay, the quality wasn't like really the best, if that makes sense. The milk cotton yarn from China Square, it's not bad, it can work obviously, but I did not like the quality. It was shedding a lot. Yeah, that's the only thing that I experienced from there really. But anyway, if you're starting to crochet, I will advise that you just like focus on learning the basic stitches. Of course, good yarn is good, like quality yarn always makes things look better, but when you're starting, honestly, all you need to focus on is learning the basic stitches. That is really, really helpful, other than the yarn, because if you know the stitches, if you know the stitches you're using, whatever yarn you're given, you'll be able to come up with something beautiful. So the best thing someone can do is to focus on learning the basics. And that is, I'm taking my advice as well. When I started crocheting, I was so ambitious. I always wanted to make the things that seemed impossible to make, which I did, because at that time, for me, I started crocheting for clients almost immediately, which I'm forever grateful for. So somebody will send me a picture and they're like, oh, can you make this? And when you look at the stitches, they're so intricate and so, what is the word, so complicated and everything. But I used to do it. But after I did that, when you tell me to make the same piece again, I can't remember how I made it. So I go back to the drawing board, if that makes sense. So my advice is to just focus on learning the basic stitches. The yarn, you can use any type of yarn, because when if you know the yarn, you can use any type of yarn really. If you know the basics, I think they will help propel you to a better level. That's what I think really. So yeah, I think it's important to focus on that. That's what I think people should At least if you're starting, that's what I think you should do. That was pretty helpful for me, really. So yeah, that's my rant. That's the end of my rant. The time is almost over. We are at our 10-minute mark. I think I'm going to stay for 5 more minutes. So yeah, right now I'm just making, should I show you? Let me show you. So this is the first panel I made. My goal is to finish this one today and make it I want to finish this one today, then that way I will have made a lot of progress. Yeah, I'm hoping at least by the end of the week I will be done with everything, like the sleeves and everything. The only thing that will be remaining is joining everything together, but I also have to figure out the type of sleeves I want my sweater to have. Yeah, I think I'm more inclined to the bubble sleeve, like the sleeves I made for the hooded sweater. I'm more inclined to make those ones. I think I'll do those ones, but I'm not yet sure. I'll have to see how everything turns. Oh my god, English is not my first language. I'll have to see how everything turns out first, like how the back panel and the back panel and the front panel, how they drape on my body. That way I'll be able to like decide what I want. Hi, hello madam, I have a doubt of crochet. A doubt? Can I ask? Okay, yes, you can ask. I believe you mean you have a question. Yes, you can ask me anything. Ask me any question you have, really. As I was saying, I have to see how the sweater drapes on my body, and then after that, now we will move forward. So yeah, also if like you've never crocheted, I think I would recommend you start with like chunky yarn. Somebody say my crochet is very loose. That means you have your tension is loose. So if you're using a bigger hook, for example, if for me what do I want to say, if you're using a bigger hook and you're using chunky yarn and your crochet becomes really loose, I will advise you go a hook lower. For example, if you're using a 5mm hook, I will advise you to go to a 4. See how that looks like, and then if you don't like that, you can go to maybe a 3.5. I believe that will be a good sweet spot. Yeah, so if your work is loose, just go lower. Like if you're using a 5mm hook, you can go down to a 4.5 or a 4mm hook. That way your work is not going to be loose, right? Yeah, so that's my advice. I will advise you to do that, because a lot of times you find that your crochet really, it depends on your tension, the type of tension that you have. For me personally, my tension is very tight, so I don't tend to use the bigger hooks a lot. I have a bunch, like I have like a 6.5. I have a bunch. I have the bigger hooks, but most of the time, even if the yarn recommends a 5mm hook, let's say maybe even a 10, for me my tension is too tight, so I'll probably end up using like a 7 or a 6. So for example, this yarn that I'm using, it recommends a 4.5 it recommends a 4.5 and a 3.5 millimeter hook. So for me, most of the time I use 3.5, but as right now I'm using a 3 millimeter hook. So yeah, and as you can see, the yarn is quite thick, but personally I just don't like, what is the thing, I don't like when the stitches are loose. It is not my style. Also try to figure out what your style is. So for me, I don't like when the stitches are loose. For example, like double crochet stitches, they can get really, when you're using a bigger hook, they can get really loose. So when you're using a bigger hook, it becomes really, what is the word, it has a lot of holes in it, and if you're not going for the mesh look, now everything else becomes very confusing. So I recommend, like for double crochets, if you have loose tension, maybe use a smaller hook and everything else will be okay. My crochet does not look perfect. Even mine never looked. If you're starting, I think it's important to tell yourself, or to be self-aware, in the sense that when you're starting something, you remember that you're not going to be good at it. I think that is, what is it, you give yourself grace and you give yourself enough time to learn. So don't be hard on yourself. When I started crocheting, the first thing I made looked absolutely disgusting. I made I think I made a scarf. Was it a scarf? I made a black scarf. It looked absolutely disgusting. I made it using single crochets, and I think I made it for like 3 weeks, and I used the thin yarn, and the edges were not even. The scarf was supposed to be square. It was going in all the direction that is not supposed to go to, but I made it and I finished it. That was the first thing I made. Then after that, I moved and made a bralette. Oh my god, it was a red bralette. I remember I didn't take any measurement. I just saw a tutorial and I made it, and it looked so bad. If you ask me, it looked so bad. I think I posted it on my Instagram a while back. I already archived that picture. It looked absolutely disgusting. Yeah, but you just keep making until you get better. Otherwise, if you come into this thinking that you're going to be like so good, it's a waste of your time. Just like, start with the intention that you're going to suck, if that makes sense. When you're a beginner at something, accept that you're going to suck, and accept that somebody is going to be better than you are. Even at this moment, I consider myself still a beginner. So there are things that I make and I am like, this looks really bad, but that should not stop you. You're just like, you know what, this looks bad, but I can improve on a bunch of things. Somebody is asking if you can wash your crochet dress. Yes, you can wash that. You can wash them, obviously. Mine, I prefer hand washing. It's you hand wash and then you air dry. I tried one time blocking a sweater I made. I really liked the results. Yeah, so you can even try blocking if you want that. What else do I want to say? I think I'm gonna go. I've already stayed for too long. I said I was gonna stay for 10 minutes, but we are almost at our 20 minutes mark, so I think I'm gonna go. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Let me know what you think in the comment down below. Bye bye. Have a good day.